Hello, we're going to make a video, and this video will demonstrate why it is often, or in fact most likely, necessary to create a virtual Python environment when working with projects using Anaconda Python. Additionally, I will demonstrate creating a virtual Python environment under a normal user ID with packages that are necessary for tasks that I will want to demonstrate in a later video. The specific task that I'll want to demonstrate is using the GPU from Python. Um, so I need to have some particular packages in there. Okay, we're going to do something we did in a previous video, but we're going to do it just for demonstration purposes. So Python works in environments. So the first thing I need to do is put myself in the base Python environment, and that's done by running this command right here. Well, actually, this is going to create a symbolic link with the environment script that's in a different directory, and we're going to put it under our uh, root directory of our user ID. So we're going to execute this script, and I'm running under the ID ECE demo, and that's the root directory of my user ID. If I type ls, that thing in turquoise, that's the symbolic link. And see if we can get here. That's a symbolic link to the actual file. That's the environment script. Okay, in order to get into the base environment, I need to source that file. So we'll say source, and then that file name. And you can see the word base over here on the left-hand side. That shows that we have now entered the base environment of the Anaconda Python. To see what kind of packages we have in this base environment, I can type Conda list, and that shows all the packages that we have. Now, in order to find out a particular package, I can type Conda list pipe, and then I want to install a package called TensorFlow -GPU. Okay. And so, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the Conda list command. I'm going to pipe it to a command called grep, and then put TensorFlow in there, and we'll run that list, pipe it through this command, and it should find anything that says TensorFlow on it. Okay, I don't have any TensorFlow packages. So what I want to do is I want to install the TensorFlow package, TensorFlow-GPU package. Now I can't install it from the ECE demo ID because this base environment was installed using the root ID. But what we're going to do for our demonstration purposes here, I've logged in as root on SHA-03, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the command, and I've actually entered the base environment for the sake of time. I've done that already. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the command that should install the TensorFlow GPU into the base environment. And we're going to put that here. Now this command theoretically should install the TensorFlow GPU package, and I'll hit enter. And so what it's doing now is it's going through and it's taking a look, and I'll speed this up so that you don't have to wait for this whole thing. But while I'm waiting, I'll just mention one or two things. Python is setting up environments for Python is a notoriously tricky and complicated um, endeavor. And uh, you can download the packages from your distributions and try and put them together, but it very often is a nightmare trying to get all the dependencies with the packages uh, together and an environment working. Uh, Anaconda was developed as a Python package management system. And so what Anaconda will do is it will make it easier for you to install various packages uh, into and create Python environments. Now, realistically, and what I expect we're going to find here, is that the base environment that was installed doing a standard installation will probably not be able to install the TensorFlow GPU because of all the various dependencies. So uh, again, we're going to let this go ahead and install, and I'll speed it up, and we'll probably watch this fail, and then what we'll do is we'll create a virtual environment. I'll show you how to do that. That will actually allow us to install the TensorFlow GPU and various other packages that we need to install uh, for a future video. So enough of my talking here, and we're going to let this run, and I'll see you on the other side of this attempt to install this package. Okay, it's finally returned, and so what you see here on this screen, these are conflicts that we would have uh, if we tried to, while we're trying to install the TensorFlow. And so there's all kinds of conflicts you see here, and this just is not going to work. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this screen. We'll come back to the ECE demo screen. So we're going to have to create a virtual environment to get this to work. And so what we can do here is we're going to type Conda, and this is going to show the current environments that we have. And I'll type Conda env. Oh, sorry, I missed something there. Conda env list. And this will list the virtual environments the environments that we have. And the only environment that we currently have is the base environment, and that's the one you see here on the left. So we're going to create another virtual environment, and to save some typing, I'm going to copy and paste the command that we're going to use. And the command we'll use to create the virtual environment will be conda create -- name, and then my virtual environment that I'm going to create, I'm going to call it my GPU env, my GPU environment. And so in this virtual environment, we're actually going to install a full Python package. We're going to install something called the CUDA toolkit. We're going to install something called TensorFlow GPU and PyTorch GPU, all in one fell swoop. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and let's see if this works. What happens when you create a virtual environment? It's not dependent on packages that are already installed. It can actually do all kind of dependency reconciliation in order to get the virtual environment created. Okay, so it's already figured out all the packages that it needs to install to get everything to work. We'll hit yes. Now it's going to download and install the packages. And this generally doesn't take too long. I will speed it up. Okay, that wasn't bad. In fact, I may not speed that up so you can see how fast it actually was. So now if I type Conda env list, you see there's a new environment called my GPU env. At the end of the install, you can see that it put in some information how you get into the my GPU environment is you would type conda activate my GPU environment, and to get out of it, the my GPU environment, you would type conda deactivate. So let's try that. Okay, and you can tell that you're in the my GPU environment by over here on the left hand side it says my GPU environment. It tells you the environment that you're in. Now if you remember, we had that conda list command that shows all the packages. Now we're going to run the conda list command, and then we're going to pipe that into the grep command, and then we're going to type in tensor and see what is installed here. So there's that TensorFlow GPU that we were looking to get installed, and that was able to be installed because we used a virtual environment. And you will most likely be creating virtual environments in the pursuit of executing your projects. Okay, that's all we're going to do for this video. I hope it was helpful, and thank you for listening.